Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? So we're going to get down and serious on some stuff right now, man. And some of you might be turned off on this, but I don't care. I'm not here to make friends and kiss people's butts. I'm here to tell the truth. And that's what I do. And that's all I'm going to do. And I'm going to educate you a little bit while I do it. Now, I don't know if you guys have heard about this. I'm sure you did, but many people look away because it doesn't pertain to them. On March 12th, there was an attack on the West Bloomfield, Michigan temple, the synagogue down there, which has a Schul connected to it, which you might not know, but that is a school. And there were 140 little kids in that school. So what happened was this psychopathic guy, and I'll say that because only somebody like that would go and attack a temple or anything like that. Anybody full of hate and racism. This 41-year-old guy is a Lebanese national, and his name was Amin Mohammed Ghazali, and he took a vehicle with a lot of explosives and gasoline and ran it through the front door of the temple. And he got out and opened fire. And he had guns, of course, and it didn't go as planned. His truck, when he ran it in there, caught fire and was ready to blow up. He came out firing, and the security guards, who had just recently been trained by the FBI, opened fire when they saw what was going on and wasted him. And he died in the fire in his truck. They couldn't even really identify his body. But, in this day and age, you can use teeth and all kinds of stuff and figure out who he was. And this was a horrible event. The Oakland County Sheriff's Department was on the job. They were there so quick, man. And I give them a lot of credit for that. And Sheriff Bouchard was there, and he took his men in there. They didn't know what was happening. Now, this could have been a bigger attack. They didn't know. This could have been more going on. There could have been bombs planted all around there. And this Mohammed Ghazal guy, and I'm not going to pronounce his name right. I'm not even going to try because I don't care. And I'm glad they wasted him. Kudos to the security guards being right there at the right time and opening fire. They did the right thing. No questions asked. Shoot first, ask questions later. Anyway, one of the security guards did get hurt. The truck ran into him, but he's okay now. So the sheriff and his boys all went in there, and girls, the women too. They all went in there, and they made sure everything was clear. There were 140 kids in the shul. Now, when this first happened, of course, you heard about it, but, the American mainstream media now downplays any negative actions against Jews. They downplayed it like no big deal, and they were like, well, there's no kids in the school. I don't care if there weren't kids in the school. It's still somebody attacking a temple, And then it's like, well, there were kids in the school. Why isn't anybody more upset about this? Why wasn't the media all over this? Some media was. Some media, local media was down there. They didn't like it. This guy was from Dearborn Heights, which is a little bit away. Now let me tell you about West Bloomfield, Michigan. It has the highest population of Jewish people in the state of Michigan in it. Dearborn Heights is right outside of Dearborn. That has the highest population of, well, might as well just say it like it is, Muslims, Islamist, Middle Eastern people is what they say for the political correctness. It has the largest population of Middle Eastern people in it outside of the Middle East. There's more Middle Eastern people there in that section than anywhere else in the United States of America. They control the government there. It's an all-Muslim government. The call to prayer is all day long, and people don't like it, but you can't complain about it. If you put up a gay pride flag, oh boy, look out. You're in trouble. You put up a Mexican flag, oh no, don't you do that. You can't honor your country. Is that a Cuban flag? Oh no, I don't care if you're Cuban. That doesn't fly over here, boy. That's the way it is. Hamtramck, Michigan, same thing. Hamtramck used to be a Polish community with a lot of Jewish people there, a lot of Polish Jews that escaped from the Holocaust, and they made their way over here, and there was good jobs, and they decided, hey, let's go work over here. And now it's a Middle Eastern community, a Muslim community. The city council is all Muslim. It's changed a lot. And let me tell you, people say, well, they came to Dearborn because of the auto industry. Yeah, but let me tell you why Dearborn has been so popular. And this is my theory, and I believe my theory is more correct than anybody else's. Because Henry Ford, who I don't like, and if you're Jewish, you better not buy a Ford. You better not support him or any of these companies in any way, shape, or form. I don't care if it was 50 or 100 years ago. What they did then was wrong. You don't support them now. But Henry Ford was a huge anti-Jewish person, anti-Semite. I don't like to use the word anti-Semite. I say it what it is, anti-Jewish. That's exactly what he was. He ran the largest anti-Jewish newspaper in the world. It went everywhere. It was called the Dearborn Independent. He got honors from Adolf Hitler. He got an award from Hitler, and it used to be displayed in the Henry Ford Museum, but they kind of downplayed it because a lot of people were getting upset with that. They're like, wow, this is pretty hardcore, I mean, they did kill over 6 million Jews. And then people always come back and say, well, they killed other people too. Yeah, they did. They killed a lot of communists, a lot of Russians. But the main point was they went after the Jews, people. Hitler hated Jews. And that was the whole point of his proclaim to his Aryan nation over there. Anyway, Henry Ford was a huge racist. Muslims were welcome there because, for the most part, most of them hate Jews, and it's written in their books. There's a lot in there. I know most people have never read the Hadith or the Quran. I have. I have read almost all the holy books from all different races and religions out there. It's interesting to learn things like this, and sometimes it'll blow your mind when you read some of this stuff like, whoa, okay. It says in there, a rock will tell you, there's a Jew behind me, come and kill him. The tree will say, there's a Jew behind me, come and kill him. Well, no, that's a misinterpretation. No, it's not. That's straight from Arabian people. Don't even try it. I know what I'm talking about. And you guys that know me, you know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about, man. So anyway, this temple was attacked. And the reason was, they say, for this guy doing it, is he was upset because Israel had killed 2 of his brothers in an attack on Lebanon. But what they don't tell you is his brothers were Hezbollah terrorists. They kill anybody they can. They hide behind little children while they're firing guns. They treat women like crap. And Lord knows they have no problem killing Jews. But when Israel fights back, somehow they're always the bad guy. October 7th, 2023. Horrible day. Israel was attacked. Thousands killed, which if you took 9/11, that would have been like 25 9/11s here if you go by the population. But the only ones that seemed to care was Jewish people and anybody with a heart. It's kind of hurtful when that happens, Kind of hurtful a lot, especially when you got a lot of religions out there that claim to be, Christians and things like that. Well, if you're a Christian, you might want to support Judaism, because that's where your stuff came from. And the little guy you worship, Jesus, Yeshua, whatever you want to call him, was 100% Jewish. It even says in the Christian Bible, he kept the Feast of Dedication. He kept the temple. He kept Passover. He followed all 613 laws. So if you're a Christian, you need to support the Jews. You need to work with them. You need to honor them. And when something like this happens, you need to stick up for them. Because here's the deal with Jews. They stuck up for everybody in life. They stand behind everybody. That's how it goes. And then when someone comes for them, there's nobody to stick up for them. The Jews were very active in the civil rights movement, They did a lot of great things. Matter of fact, the man that spoke before the I Have a Dream speech before Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the man that spoke before him was a rabbi. And they did a lot of stuff to help the civil rights movement and to help the black people. And a lot of black people remember that to this day because they're taught that. They get taught stuff like that in the black community. White community doesn't care. They forget about all the good things that Jews have done for them and everybody else. And they kind of downplay the black community anyway because, I'll be honest with you, most whites honestly are racist. And a lot of you out there, y'all know it. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. You know racist in your communities. You know racist in your families. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. So this guy feels he has the right to go and kill a bunch of innocent people, or he at least tried, and I'm glad he failed, because Israel killed his terrorist brothers who were probably firing guns at them, so they fired back. The IDF is tough. You don't mess with them. The IDF, I love them. They're strong, male and female. Women fight on the front lines. They're tough too. Beautiful women. I don't know if you've ever known this, but this is the truth too. I might be a little biased, but Jewish women are beautiful. All Jewish women are beautiful. I could meet a 95-year-old, 300-pound Jewish woman right now, and I'll tell you, she's beautiful because she has Jewish energy and positive energy. And if she calls me Boobala, I'll cry. You don't know what it's like to be loved until you've had an old Jewish woman call you Booby or Boobala. It's a beautiful thing. My bubby died way before I could even be dreamed of. But hey, if she was around today, I'd be the favorite, and I'd be taking care of her. So this guy feels he can go and kill people just because, well, Jews killed my people, I can kill the Jews. So you're going to go and kill innocent people that had nothing to do with it, okay? Well, how about this? Does any Jewish person here in America have the right to go and, let's say, blow up a Ford plant because of what Henry Ford did? Or go attack him because he worked with the Nazis and the Nazis killed their people? Does any Jew have the right to do that? No. No, they don't. But would they do that? No, because they're not idiots. Now, would they go and attack Chrysler? Chrysler's owned by Fiat now. Fiat was on the side of the Italians. They worked with the Nazis. So would they go and do that? Do they have the right to do that? No. Do they have the right to go after a mosque because they always attack Jews? No. Because Jews don't do stupid stuff like that. They're pretty much good people. And I'm talking about the real Jews, not the ones that have Jewish blood in them, but only when it's election time do they say anything about it or try to do like Chuck Schumer with his, look at me, I'm grilling. Yeah, you're grilling with undercooked meat and cheese on it. There's 2 dietary Jewish laws you broke right there, you schmuck. But, comes time for the boats, he'll be out there eating a bagel. That's how they are, man. They need a vote, they'll eat a bagel, they'll eat pizza, they'll go to Chinatown, They're all a bunch of foreign bastards, man. They're all a bunch of kloftas. I'm telling you, man, they're not good people. They're not. They're schmucks and kloftas out there. But anyway, so this guy feels he has the right to go do that. Let me ask you people something. When's the last time you saw a Jewish guy run into a building, shout Baruch Hashem or something like that, and blow himself up? It doesn't happen. It's never happened. When's the last time a Muslim guy shouted Allahu Akbar and blew himself up? Happens all the time. Just recently, a guy got on an airplane and started running his mouth about some stuff. And people were saying, well, what would you do? I said, get off the freaking plane. He come on there talking about being a son of Muhammad and all this stuff, and he was just ranting and raving about stuff. I'm like, see ya. 9/11 was a horrific event, people, but many people seem to forget what was behind it, who was behind it. And I'm watching this country every single day. There was an attack on a Jewish store, a synagogue, a Schul. There is an attack on Jewish people every day, not just around the world now, not just all over the world, in the Middle East or anything like that. We're talking every day in America. Every day. Oh, I don't know if you saw this or not, but the other day there was a few ambulances that were bombed in Britain, and everybody was celebrating it because they're Jewish ambulances. They're owned by a Jewish company. And everybody was happy and laughing and joking about it, even people here in America. And I'm sitting there going, you guys are idiots, because those ambulances are owned by a Jewish company. They're controlled by a Jewish company. The money they get is private donations from Jewish donors or anybody who wants to donate. And what those ambulances do is they serve in the front lines or they serve in poor areas, and they help people. They give you free medical care. They'll give you a free trip to the hospital, and they'll save your lives. And people were happy because they were owned by Jews, so that's okay. Well, what about all the good that the Jews are doing? They'll pick up a Muslim in there and save his life, even though he tried to kill somebody. They will. They'll be on the front lines in Israel, and you tried to kill a bunch of people and got shot. Bummer, dude. But we're going to save your life, and we'll hope to rehabilitate you. Why? We don't want you going back out there. But maybe you'll learn and say, wow, these Jewish guys saved my lives. Maybe I should be a nice dude, man. Maybe I shouldn't have all this hate in my heart for somebody that never did anything wrong to me in my life. And that's the thing. Israel and the Jews have never done anything wrong to anybody. You have all the negative stereotypes out there. Oh, the stupid crap you hear all the time, man. But none of it's true. It's been made up for all over the years just to make Jews look bad. I am tired of it. I myself have never seen anti-Jewish hatred this bad in my lifetime. I feel that the Nazis never left and they've come back and they're getting stronger than ever. And most people will come off on social media and rant and rave about Jews and stuff. And there's nothing, you can, if you go and defend them, you get in trouble. But they can say whatever they want. I'm like, that's weird. Elon Musk about X. He wanted free speech, right? Okay, well, how come I can't put stuff on there that's like good, legitimate stuff, but somebody can be a total racist down there? Drop the N-word on people and like some naughty words about Jews and stuff. But if I stick up for them, I'm the bad guy. I recently stuck up for somebody. They threatened to kill this guy. And I reported the comment because you're threatening to kill somebody. That ain't right. I mean, if you're going to say it, odds are you might do it. And I was told that, they didn't do anything wrong. But my comment that I left him was wrong because I said something about shouldn't do this and that. It was a nice, well thought out, nice comment. And I'm like, wow, Elon, you bought this for freedom of speech. Where's that at? I guess it's okay. Freedom of speech is okay if you're a racist and if you wish death on people. Gee, well, that's not the freedom of speech I want. Whatever, dude. That's how a lot of these schlubs are, man. They don't care. All they care about is their money and themselves. And that's how most people are. Most people won't stick up for the Jewish community. It's about 15 million Jews in the world that actually recognize themselves being Jews. And a majority of those people practice. That's still not the number of Jews that were around before the Holocaust. We have not got back up to that number yet. But, hey, going to keep on trying. But, everybody sits there and it's like I said, if you're a Christian, you need to stick up for the Jews. I'll tell you, there is a good organization, a religion a lot of people don't really like because they say it's fake and made up and, all this other crap. And that's the Latter-day Saints. They stick up for Israel. They stick up for the Jews. I give them credit for that. Good for them. And there's a lot of, the Seventh-day Adventists actually follow a lot of the rules. They say, well, it's written in the book, so we have to do it. That's what the Creator said. But then you got the Christians. Why are you Christians always backing off of the Jews? You worship a guy on a cross, which is illegal. You're not supposed to worship false idols, and worshiping a cross and praying to it, that's not allowed, man. But hey, you'll do that, and he's Jewish. But you don't seem to care. Most people don't care. It's funny because if it was a Catholic church that got blown up, or if they attacked the Vatican, it'd be world news. They'd still be going on and on about it, man. It'd be horrible. And it'd probably be a war going on, But that's just how it goes, right, people? Hey, that's your choice, man. Unfortunately, many of you make bad choices. So Passover's coming up. It's coming up next week. It's the day that we honor the freedom of the Jews and the Passover, where death passed over those and protected the Jews. And I get tired of all these people out there trying to explain how all these things happen. Well, here's why the frogs fell. Here's why this happened. Here's why the water turned to blood. I'm like, wow, y'all reaching, man. And there's people out there, and a lot of Christians that'll say this is why, and they'll be there, and it's like, I don't bash your Christian beliefs. You want to worship Jesus? That's your trip, man. But don't forget where he came from, and don't forget what he said about, I've come from the law. I have not come to do away with my Father's laws. I've come to uphold them. Don't forget that, people. That's what he said on the Sermon on the Mount. So, and here's another thing. They say, well, he was in the ground for 3 days. No, he wasn't. Friday night, that's when he got laid to rest. They had to take him down because, it was Sabbath. They had to get him down before sundown. He rose the first day of the week, which is Sunday. He was Jewish. Don't forget that. He was only in there for about a day and a half. But you know what, man? We can point out all kinds of things. We can blow your religion out of the water. But we don't. You know why? Because we believe everybody has a right to believe what they want. So why is everybody attacking the Jews? It's been going on forever. 5786. That's the year we're in. It's been going on forever, man, and it's not going to stop. And it's worse than ever. And if you do stick up for the Jews, I appreciate that. And so do all the brothers and sisters out there. If you got a heart and soul, stick up for us. If you got a conscience, if you got any compassion, I appreciate it. It'd be a nice thing because I stand up for everybody. Heck, I stand up for the Muslims, even though they like to kill us, and they'll come off and say things, and it's like, if you ask a Muslim and he doesn't know you're Jewish, you ask him, why do you guys hate the Jews? And they'll tell you, because the Jews killed Jesus, and that gets you on their side. Now, don't forget it was the Romans that killed him. The Romans put him up there, but they try to turn it around and make it look like the Jews did everything. Y'all need to read a little more. Read it as it was written. So, there's a lot going on in this world every single day. While I've been talking for the past 20 minutes, there's probably been an attack on Jews everywhere. So if you're speaking out for us and standing up for us, I appreciate that. If you're not, well, good luck trying to put us back in railroad cars and throw us in a camp, because we have weapons and we're not afraid to use them. We have connections. We're not afraid to use them. Peace out. It's the real deal coming at you live as usual. Telling it like it is, man. And happy Passover, my friends.